Yo, this January has been a wild time in America. The markets are going crazy. We invading Venezuela, and white women are getting shot in the streets. Right now in America, the two things you need is knowledge and a gun, and that's common knowledge. Common Knowledge Podcast, just a man doing the best he can with what he got. And anybody who knows me for a long time can tell you three things about me. And I know these three things about myself. I'm an asshole, but I'm a self-aware asshole. And one is I'm loyal to a fault. If you my homie, you're my homie, it takes a lot for me to wash my hands of you. But on the flip side, if you wash your hands of me, I kind of get it because I'm a lot to deal with. I really do. Two is when it's go time, I go. Whether it's been scrapping back in the day, now protesting, donating to a fund, if it's time to go, I'm going. You'd be hard pressed to find a friend of mine that can tell you that when it was time to scrap, I wasn't out there throwing blows with them. For the most part, that's what I do. I'm always gonna be there out there with you. I got stories of friends who had to face down the Yakuza, and I'm like, all right, well, shit, let's try to take a few with us. Real talk. And like I said, now in my older age, when it comes to protesting, donating, helping where I can, when it's time to move, I move. And three, I got a big mouth. Real talk. I've gotten better with age, but I am comfortable being uncomfortable. Like that awkwardness that people feel they don't like, I live there. I'm okay with that. And if something's on my mind, I say it. And I've heard over time that my words can sometimes mess up my homies' money or put them in situations they didn't sign up for. So I've gotten better at regulating my words. Shout out to Ian. You know the situation I'm talking about. But seriously, I have to watch what I say because I don't want to mess up my homies' money. That's why I don't tag anybody to my videos or my podcast, because what I say can be attached to them, and I'm willing to live with what I say, but I dare not want to mess up the homies' money because of what I say. So with that in mind, that's why I do this podcast. Like, I get to hear my thoughts and say those thoughts instead of saying them out in public, because younger me would have just blurted them out and consequences be damned. We can just scrap it out right there. But as I've gotten more cognizant of my situations and my surroundings, I watch it, you know? This is where I put out my thoughts. And I don't expect you to agree with me. I really don't. I don't expect you to agree with everything I say. And I'm not claiming that I'm right or that there's only one way to think. That's never been my stance. I'll tell you when I'm right, but I'll never tell you I am right. And the benefit for me is to be able to say my thoughts out loud and then sit with them and listen back. I've never asked a friend to follow me blindly, ever. I don't expect you to follow me. I really don't. And let's be real, I know I'm annoying. I'm annoying as hell. When I get passionate, I am annoying. I'm self-aware enough to admit that. If you gotta snooze me for 30 days, I get it. I mean, it doesn't mean you don't rock with me. It doesn't mean we're not friends, but on these social sites, if you see me, you're like, man, damn, here he goes again. And you gotta snooze me for 30 days. I totally get it. But honestly, I think a lot of y'all agree with me. You just don't like how I say it or how I'm coming across in my tone, right? And that ties into where America is right now. Everybody think it's left versus right, but the lines ain't that clear, man. I swear these lines get blurred. The left isn't just this rainbow flag stereotype that everybody keeps throwing out there. Trust me, there's plenty of guns over here on the left too, guys. And the right isn't this hardened militia type. There's a lot of pussies over there. A whole lot of them. And social media isn't real life. Don't let these folks gas you up, incite you up into believing that the stereotypical left is what the left is. It's not, guys, and nor is the right. If there was a civil war to pop off right now, you'll be surprised who would be on what side. I swear. Because there's a whole lot more people like me, independents, who just tired of both sides. So if you rock with me online, I appreciate it. And I genuinely believe more people agree with me than disagree with me. The difference is I've got time and the reason to stay locked in to these politics. I got immigrant family members. I live in neighborhoods where ICE and DHS have been deployed. I got loved ones that live in underserved communities. And for me, this is not an abstract thing. It's micro and macro. But I get it. Like, most of y'all are busy. Y'all one paycheck away from losing your house. The price of beef is going up. You got to wonder how you're going to feed your family. And you don't have the bandwidth to worry every day about deportations, protections being stripped, or who's next on the list. I mean, that doesn't mean you don't care. And I know that. That doesn't mean you don't care because you don't have the time. So if you need a break from me, take it. If you need a break from politics and this despair, take it. There is no hard feelings. Just understand this. One day, we might all have to come together. And when that day comes, I want y'all to know exactly where I stood. I don't need no ambiguity about where I stood and where I stand. All right, let me go ahead and talk about Renee Good. Let's get this out the way. All right, so when the Renee Good shooting happened in Minnesota, a lot of folks was DMing me and shooting at me on my podcast, like, yo, Marcus, what you got to say? Like, what do you got to say? And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. I didn't have no value add. I didn't have like nothing that I could have said right then that I felt like could have swayed anybody's opinion or shedded light or broadly defined what happened. The video is right there. It was all on video. You could check it out. There wasn't much I felt like I needed to say at that moment. I'm gonna keep it honest with you guys, like, real talk. I would like to say I was surprised when it happened, but I wasn't. I said last year on my podcast that the Democrats only had to wait because these folks was gonna go too far. And by all accounts, these folks have went too far. Like, dead ass. When it happened, man, I almost posted something right after the shooting. Like, protests was popping off, timelines were hot, but I stopped myself. I said, nah, nah. Let me sit on this. Let me sit on this. Let me watch. Let me see how people react. And I'm gonna keep 100 with you guys. Like, when I saw the video, I was like, oh my God, this is it, guys. This is the inflection point we all was waiting on. This is the pop-off point. This is the pop-off point. They shot a white lady in the head 3 times. This is gonna be the time we all come together and we say, hey man, we gotta stop it. But then I saw something super familiar. Super familiar. Anybody who remembers all those unarmed black men being shot in the Black Lives Matter movement, you will notice something super familiar. The otherization of black men, and in this case, it happened with Renee Good. It happened so quick, I was like, oh my God, they treating her like a black man. Because within 20 minutes of that shoot, them folks had labeled this lady a domestic terrorist. Within 20 minutes, bro, Kristi Noem came out there and said this was an act of domestic terrorism. Trump had posted on Truth Social, this was domestic terrorism. The right wing echo chamber was going crazy saying, man, hey, this ICE agent almost got hit by a car. He had to defend himself. This was an act of domestic terrorism. And I was like, damn, man, they're not even giving this lady the benefit of an investigation. Like, seriously, when all those unarmed black men were getting shot back in the day, the constant cry was, hey, let's wait for the investigation. Let's wait for the investigation. They didn't even do that with this lady. And then I figured out why. When I found out this, I was like, oh, okay, this ain't gonna be the galvanizing point. We lost. When they said her wife, I was like, ah, shit. Ah, shit. It ain't funny, man, but I'm being so serious. When they said she had a wife, I was like, okay, guys, this ain't the one. they, they, they finna otherize the hell out of her. And the language about this dear soul, Renee Good, who got shot, was so jarring and maddening because they kept on bringing up shit that had nothing to do with this. They kept on bringing up she had a wife, her pronouns. That's all they kept talking about. They used that language just to otherize her, to send out a code that, hey, you shouldn't care about her. She wasn't the right kind of white woman. Because I ain't gonna lie, guys, once we start shooting white ladies in the face in broad daylight, dog, once you start double tapping white ladies, we lost, dog. We all cooked. If white ladies can get popped in broad daylight, there's no hope for none of us, dog. We're all done. They otherized that lady. I was like, okay, all right, well, here we are. And there's no one right way to look at this situation. This is like a complex situation, but what I saw made something click. America has a masked police force operating right now. A real one, with masks, with what looks like total immunity. No accountability, no restraint. And under no normal circumstances would a Roman masked police force ever be considered just. You can't dress that up. You can't PR that away. A masked police force can never be seen as just. So I asked myself, why do they think this is okay? And then it hit me. It's a Batman complex. Now, cook with me for a second. Batman is my favorite character, but Batman only works depending on how you look at him. He's either a symbol of hope or he's a straight up vigilante, maniac, egotistical nightmare of a criminal who should have been locked up day one. Think about it. Batman goes outside the law, beats the hell out of the mentally deranged, breaks arms, cave in the ribs, no due process, no trial. He just decides you're guilty and leaves you bleeding in the alley. Then what happens? Those people gotta go to the hospital, and who pays for it? Gotham City. Batman is actually straining the system. He's creating chaos in the system, and the system has to clean it up. He's judge, jury, and executioner. And the public foots the bill. That's ICE. That's DHS. And that's because these folks are operating on righteousness, not the law. And the most dangerous thing you can give a maniac is a mandate. Batman had one. Commissioner Gordon enabled him. Instead of saying, nah, bro, you can't operate above the law, he gave dude a signal flare. And once Batman felt justified, he didn't slow down. He escalated. Because that's what maniacs do when you give them a mandate. They escalate. Same thing here. President Trump is Commissioner Gordon. Stephen Miller is Commissioner Gordon. They gave the green light. And here's the key realization. Those ICE agents don't think they're doing anything wrong. They think they're just. They think they are righteous. And when people believe they are righteous, They don't stop on their own. They go hard. Every time, bro, history has shown when people think they are righteous and just, they go harder every damn time. So the only question left is, what force is going to shut them down? Is it the courts? Is it the Democrats in the midterm? Hell, are you even going to have an election this year? Because honestly, guys, it's not guaranteed. And that's the danger with the Batman complex. Once you convince yourself you're a hero, anyone you hurt becomes collateral damage. And let me ground this in history for a second. Because at my age, as a middle-aged man, it's three things that you can gravitate to, and I gravitate to all three of them. That's smoking meats, politics, and history. I ain't gonna lie, man. If you can just stick to smoking meats, your life would be a lot easier. But at the Nuremberg Trials after World War II, they captured a lot of Nazis. And they was interrogating them, and they asked them all the same question. Why did you do it? Why did you murder all of those people? Why? And over again, they got the same answer. I was just following orders. They didn't think they was evil. They didn't even think they was responsible. And the courts outright rejected that. It's like, yo, bro, following orders does not erase moral responsibility. Like some of them got lighter sentences, but they were still held accountable for their actions. And years later, a psychiatrist named Stanley Milgram ran a study to test this exact idea. So he got a group of ordinary people, lined them up, put them in a group. And ordinary people was told by an authority figure to harm another person. And most of them did it. Not because they was monsters, but because the responsibility felt external. I was told to do it. That's why they hurt those other people, because an authority figure told them to do it. And that's the danger. That's how evil actually works. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I had a conversation with Satan once, and he told me everybody's soul was for sale. You can't be bought. And I'm okay with that. All thing I'm asking is just know your price and know your line. Because I don't expect everybody to be built like me. I really don't. Everybody's line is different. But you have to know where yours is. And here's the real question. The real question is, what are you going to do when somebody crosses it? Because if you don't have a plan of action after somebody crosses your line, then you don't actually have a line. They can do whatever they want. Now look at ICE, DHS, Border Patrol. The honest truth is, most of us will never see these guys. We won't, especially if you have money. If you have money, that insulates you from a lot of this. I saw it in Memphis, Collierville, Germantown, Lakeland, Arlington. All these affluent neighborhoods didn't see the National Guard, didn't see ICE. As if undocumented people can't possibly live in Germantown or Collierville or Arlington. No, they just went to underserved communities with brown and black people. It only happened in underserved communities. But here's the part people keep missing, right? Cages are never built for one person, and it never stays isolated. It always spreads. And once you got a white woman getting double tapped in the face, that's a litmus test. That's when you know the system has slipped too far. And if that can happen, none of us are safe. That's the honest to God truth. None of us are safe because often white women are used as a reason to do all these heinous acts. Look at Emmett Till. The reason why they had to lynch that black boy, Emmett Till, was to protect him from a white woman. Historically, white women have always been used to justify violence. But this time it was done on a white woman. Where's your line? And when it comes to you, what are you gonna do? That's something I think about every damn day. All right, man. Last set, man. I'm gonna keep 100 with you guys, man. Uh, don't let these folks gas you up. Like, seriously, don't let these folks gas you up on each side, on the left or the right. Cause on the left, I need more accountability. I need more opposition. Because one thing is perfectly clear to me right now is that we don't have a real opposition party. When Republicans are the opposition party, them folks do lawsuits, they block, they jam, and Democrats are not built like that. Like the left doesn't have a real opposition party. That's why you see like dumb-ish happening. Historically, the left only gets in power after the right screws up everything so much they do too many tax cuts, the economy falls off the cliff, then they go call Democrats to come fix the mistake. That's generally how it happens. But Democrats do not work good as an opposition party because as soon as they get power, they don't hold nobody accountable. They quick to be on that kumbaya. When honestly, y'all need to get the hint they don't like you, they're not that into you, and really start fighting these folks. Like dead ass. If there's a way not to vote Democrat in the midterms, I would. Like, I would just vote for independents straight down the line because Democrats have shown they're not really going to do anything. Like they're doing stuff, but it's not as fiery as I would like to be. But on the flip side, man, a lot of Republicans always ask me, you always talk bad about Trump. Why don't you say nothing good about Trump? And here's the honest God truth, guys. I call Trump Captain Half-Ass. I really do. Because a lot of his ideas and programs I could get behind if they actually implement them the way he says he's going to implement them. Seriously, the man is the king of doublespeak. Take for example, the deportation. Deporting criminals and dangerous people out of America, I think everybody can get behind. Every single last American can get behind deporting criminals. But that's not what's happening. They're just deporting anybody not white. That is actually what's happening. If you have an accent and you are brown, you are a target. That's what's happening. Truth be told, most people in America who are quote unquote illegal or overstayed visa. They know where these folks are at. They can just go get them folks and round them up. You don't have to have this mass force out here getting people. But if you do overstayed visas, guess who's going to be in there? A lot of white people. So you need to start getting white people and everybody the hell out of here who are criminals. Once again, crossing the border illegally is not a criminal offense, civil offense. And furthermore, if some of these folks been in here 5 to 10 years, there's a lot of more folks I need you to hold accountable. If somebody been in here 5 to 10 years illegally, how did they get here? How did they get a job? Who gave them the job? Who gave them the house? Who sold them the car? How did they get it? There's a lot of stuff we need to plug up. And a lot of people need to be held accountable. If they hired a quote unquote undocumented worker that y'all call illegals, then yo, that company need to be fined as a half-ass precaution. I mean, look, I agree with Trump getting rid of the penny. I think getting rid of the penny is a good idea. But once again, all the good stuff is overshadowed by the bad stuff. Like the mustache guy who ran Germany, he did some good stuff. But we don't think about that, man. You know why? Because 6 million Jews died. So we don't think about that. Like seriously, we don't think about the Autobahn network that got expanded. We don't think about the short-term unemployment reduction, industrial growth, all those industries and manufacturing that increased under mustache guy's reign. There's a lot of good things that happen under mustache guy's reign, but you know what? That's non and void. Same thing with Trump, bro. Like, don't let these folks gas you in and say, well, what could you say anything good about that? You don't see that shit, bro? You don't see people getting dragged at their car? Huh? You don't see that? Yes, the markets are going crazy right now. Honestly, I thought the Trump tariff idea was a good idea. I did, because it's a tax. It's a tax that everybody had to pay. It was going to be some shared hurt. Now, true enough, it was going to hurt people with no money more than people with money. But I did think it was a good idea. It was shared hurt. Only problem is, man, all you got to do is kick that man's ass, suck on his balls, and he'll remove the tariffs for you. And on top of that, the man talking about giving a refund check, which is not going to happen. I know, guys. But he's talking about a refund of some of the money that he got from the terrorists. Stupid Captain Half Ass. But look, man, I just want to put it out there. As I let you go, know your line, know your price, understand that authority is not absolution. It's not absolute. Because one day, man, the excuse won't matter. Only your choices will. And as a Common Knowledge podcast, man, updated weekly. Your guys stay comfortable, stay thinking. I'll catch up with you next time. And, you like the podcast, like, share, send it to your crazy uncle, leave a comment, tell me what you think about it. You guys be safe. Peace.